Hello? Hello, hello, hello. 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 YouTube's 15 seconds behind, so I don't really know. Doo-ba-doo. Hello. Doo-doo-doo. Hello, hello. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it did work. Cool beans. Okay, cool. Alright, cool. Hello. YouTube's 15 seconds behind, so I don't really know. Alright, okay. Now I'm going to mute that, because that's very odd. So, yeah. Cool, don't be afraid to chat. I'm not a bad guy. So I'm gonna start out. I'm drawing over here. Start out with uh, hmm. So this is, if you guys are familiar with Josh on Twitter, Toku Topics. He does common reviews. He asked me to draw a new. Oh, there we go. I forget that the screen's a little bit off. He asked me to draw his logo. So here's this. This is the logo. So yeah, I'm going to so he's done build right now, and let's see if I can open that. So this is what that looks like. I'm really proud of all that. I did all that by hand. I'm really proud of that. So that's the logo for that series. But I'm going to be doing starting with Kyuga. That's why I got Kyuga on the side there. So we're gonna start out with him. I'm actually gonna you know what? I'll just pull it up right here. Actually, give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Again, don't forget to comment that you're here, how you found me, all that sort of thing. I'm really a friendly guy, I promise. Okay, so the way this works, I've got this on one layer. You can't see it right here, but I've got a layer UI over here. So if I add another layer, I can draw on top of it, or it can... Ooh, no. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second. I actually pulled up the wrong one. So, pictures. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so right now I've got this one. So it's got the hey Jupiter, nice to see you. Nice to see you're quite vulgar as well, as always. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me just put in a few discords that I'm streaming now. But yeah, so the way this works, I've got well, these should be on the same logo, on the same layer. Oh, they can't. Oh, good. Okay, so oh, there we go. Okay, so now I've got common review on a separate layer, so I can get rid of that, whatever. I can get rid of this part, and I can get rid of this part. It looks really ugly without the overlay on it. So, yeah, give me 1 second. Oh, thanks, Blue. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm drawing for Josh's common reviews. He asked me to draw the logo, and so that's for the build series. I'm going to be drawing for the Kuga series next. Alright. Alright, okay, so yeah, I've got everything on separate layers. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hide this layer, and I'm going to be drawing the Kuga head. So now I'm slowly catching up on builds, but I have never ever once seen an episode of Kuga. No, he didn't pay me. This is a favor. I figured I don't feel like I should. I'm just trying to build up me first. I'm trying to build up this stream because this is something I really enjoy doing. So I'm trying to have him build up. Oh, and the one thing he wanted me to do was that. Okay, so now this makes the background transparent. So if I were to save this separately, then I could, there would be no white background. Otherwise, it'd just be white rectangle. Okay, so I'm going to add a layer down here. So now when I draw, you see it can go underneath the drawing there. So I'm going to switch to my favorite tool, which is the ink pen, which does a very solid line. I can make it very large, and it's very solid. So you see it's very solid. That's what I enjoy. I don't watch your videos, Blue. I don't watch a lot of Tokutubers, mainly just my boy Karn, and honestly that's it. I watch Squall every now and again, um, but no, I haven't. I haven't gotten around to really looking in to see what the community has to offer. All right, so let me just pull up reference. Also, this is my face, by the way. Hello, I'm a boy. I'm a real boy. Okay. Hello? Where did it's going? Haha, here it is. Okay. Okay, so I've got a reference over here. I am well hydrated. I've had a lot to drink today in terms of Watro. Alright, so it looks like Kyuga has big ol' red eyes. So we're gonna start out with actually so for this there are two different kinds of circle tools. There are two different kinds of circle tools. One is just like a circle, and one is like a stencil. And so with the stencil is what I prefer because you can place it and recreate it. You can drag it. So like just the circle, you drag however you want, and then boom. It's not good for recreating circles. I prefer the stencil, so it does it like that, and then you draw across the stencil. You can make it as thick as you want, and you can drag the circle so you can do it again if you need to. So that's what I prefer when I made the build eyes. And so that's what I'm going to use again for the Kyuga eyes. But like I said, I've never, ever, ever, ever in my life watched Kyuga. So I know zero things about him. So I'm just going to go off the seat of my pants, you know? See where the drawing takes me. And I appreciate you guys coming out and watching. I know I just started, but I'm having a lot of fun. Yeah, so we're gonna do like ovally, you know, okay, so I know I said I'm gonna have the background translucent, but it's difficult to draw on that checkerboard background. So I'm going to do the eye about like this. His eyes are like a slightly dark red, so they look like this color. Oops. I haven't drawn while streaming very much, so I'm getting used to the lag it puts on. Alright, alrighty. So then what I'm going to do, because I don't want to have to worry about flipping that to get the perfect whatever, I'm just going to what is going on? Why is my thing screwy? Okay. I'm going to duplicate this, and then I'm going to flip it. know there's a way. Okay. Oh, you know what? Haha. Got a better idea. I'm going to got this here, and I'm going to delete that. I'm going to do symmetry across the middle so that when I draw it here, it draws it on the other side. Haha, good idea. Okay. So turn that off, turn that off. Alright, so those are Kyuga's eyes. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the reason it's this weird hexa pattern is because it's a backwards K and an R. I'm really, really proud of this and every bit of how it turned out. So Kyuga's got those big eyes, and he has. So, how am I gonna do this? I'm thinking. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm thinking. So I'm going to take a slightly pure color. We'll say there. We'll add another layer, put it underneath that, and we're gonna just color it in. So as you can see, it's a bit lighter, but not by too much because we don't want it to be very noticeable, just enough for details. So we're just gonna color it in. And the reason I put this on another layer is because if I accidentally screw up and I go to erase, I don't erase that line. I just erase what's underneath. So I'm going to make the pen a little bit bigger. Alright, I'm not going to worry about going over that line because if you remember from the build one, it didn't do anything past that line, so I'm going to erase everything above that anyways. Alright. Get that colored in. If you're liking this stream, you should tell other people to join it and see what I'm doing. Should share my tweet around because I like it when people watch me draw like this. So you should hint hint, poke poke, wink wink, nudge nudge, you know, all that. Help a dude out. So alright, so oh, you know what? Dang it. I should have had symmetry on because I'm going to be working on both sides. Okay, I will turn that on after this. Because yeah, I mean, even though the line's curved, it's still pretty much the same on both sides. So it'll be fine. Also, a reminder, YouTube is 15 seconds behind what is happening live. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for retweeting it. I appreciate that a lot. Let's see how many people are watching. We've got 2 people watching. That's not bad. That's 2 more than I thought was going to happen. So, yeah, YouTube is 15 seconds behind, so anything you say won't reach, or anything you say won't happen on stream for another 15 seconds. Yeah. So I know one. Yeah, thanks, Jupe. I appreciate it. So I know that there was one person that voted on my poll saying that they'd rather have me on Twitch, but honestly, I wanted to do YouTube. I tested the stream on Twitch like a week and a half ago, and it worked fine. It was just, I don't know, I kind of just, I think it's better access when it's on YouTube. But if you guys have something different, if you guys have a different idea, different thoughts on it, let me know. I'll certainly look into it. Alright, okay. Just to make sure. Alrighty, so his eyes look all ugly like, haha. So now what we're gonna do, we're going to, just to add a bit more detail, I'm gonna turn on the symmetry again. So now I've got that line of symmetry. Oh, well, it disappears whenever I zoom, but I've got the line of symmetry down the middle, so anything I do on one side is going to happen on the other. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the compound effect. So I know that well, I mean, we all know Kamen Rider. We know that it's a thing that we all enjoy. So what I'm going to do is, I mean, he's got compound eyes. That's what I want to do. So the way I tend to do this is I pick a lighter color. Nah, that's too light. There we go. So I pick a lighter color. Hey Mochi, good to see you, man. I pick a lighter color. I make it small, and this is gonna take a hell of a long time, but I'm going to just make little loops, like scales on a dragon. Oh, thanks, man. I love you too. And it's a good thing I remembered to turn on the symmetry mode, because this would take a hell of a long time to do twice. Before I continue any further, I'm going to look to see how it looks. Actually, you know what? I should not be doing this on this layer. Holy shit. Let's, hopefully I can go back far enough. If not, then I can just... Oh! I almost couldn't go back far enough. Two more. So what I can do, I'll just take this, I'll steal this color, and oh. Ooh. Well, first, let me, so I don't lose it, I'm going to steal this color again and just make a splotch of it over here. Then I'm going to steal this color back and then draw over it. Alright, so then I'm going to make it I'm going to make them a little bit bigger. Let me steal this one again, turn symmetry back on. We'll just go for it. Make it a little, no, make it a little bigger. There we go, that's a little bit better. I like that better. I'm gonna make them a little more spread out too, to get that compound effect. So, hooray for our buddies that are going to Paramorphicon. I am very, very jealous, because I wish I was going, but I'm going to California to visit some friends in November. So there's not enough money that I could make in enough time to go to California twice, especially something like Paramorphicon, where I'd want to spend all my money while I'm there. So, no chance. Maybe 2 more years. Even though, gosh, Go Busters is my favorite series. It's my favorite Sentai. I love Go Busters. So, but, oh well. Oops. Oops. My pen messed up. Give me a second. And this is going to take a little bit, but, you know, patience is a virtue and all that jazz. I don't really have to go even on this, because it's just an effect. I could, if I wanted to, just do like W's all the way down, but I like the effect the U's give. Gives it some personality. Also, feel free to ask me questions about the stream or about me or whatever. I love talking to people on the internet. It makes me happy. Let's actually... Oh boy. I think it's looking pretty good. Oh! Aw, you flatter me. It's all in my jeans. All in my jeans. The jeans I wear to work every day. They make me such a beautiful boy. And also, you know, just happiness. I mean, I know that sounds weird, but when you find something that makes you happy, then you just look better. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. Alright, so now it's starting to look quite ugly. Actually, I really like that. I really like that. Okay. Okay, so it's looking ugly because we got some overlap, so I'm not gonna deal with that right now. We will deal with that afterwards. Okay. And then I'm going to erase my splotch over here. Okay. Whew. And so my plan for these things was to sort of like let's steal color from here. Let's steal this for our black. Okay. So my plan for these was to make it consistent and repeatable. So the idea was all the spot inside these two sections, these two side sections, were going to be colored in just like the rider's mask, like as accurately as I could get it. And then I was going to pick like one or two things that stuck out. So if we hide all of this, and we look at build, inside here it's all accurate to build, but then the parts that stick out are the ear and the barrel of the tank. So yeah, and I was going to do that for the rest of them. So Kyuga, I was going to fill in here and then just give him his forehead crest. Make that stick out. I gotta get a better shot of Kyuga. My thing isn't getting the side. Well, actually, I'll do that in a second. My reference isn't giving me the sides of his head, so I'm gonna need a picture of his sides. And you know what? For now, I'm gonna actually. You know what? For now, I'm going to color in these sides. You know what? I should be turning on symmetry mode. No. Symmetry mode activate. There we go. And beforehand, I made sure that this circle was, oh, that's right. This circle was in the very center of my canvas, with a lot of finagling and whatever. So the symmetry is right down the center. Just get some extra. There we go. I made sure that the symmetry was right down the center, or I mean, that's coincidental, but the symmetry goes right down the center, and so I made sure that it did that because I was so careful beforehand. Alright, so now let's find me a better picture of Kyuga. Something without, like, his head to the side. Aha! Perfect. Actually, you know what? I like this one a bit better. You know what? I like this one the best. Even this one. Haha! Okay, save image as KR body Kyuga 2. No. 2. No. 2. There we go. Okay, save. Alright. So perfect. I think it's a Kyuga figure arts. Yeah, I'm fairly certain it is, which is good. In case you didn't know, figure arts are actually really, really good to use as references, because I mean they're fully posable. You can put them in different whatever. Oh, am I still here? Okay, just gonna fill in that bottom bit. Huh, those must be off just a little bit. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, figure arts, because you can pose them in any way you want, whatever. Of course, I don't have any figure arts, so especially on Kyuga, so you know that's not gonna work out for me. But future reference, if you ever want to draw one of your guys, just put them in the pose that you want. Okay, so gold. Let's talk about gold. Gold is one of the hardest colors to make, because with just the way I draw, I don't like shading. I really don't. I try to do as much detail as I can without shading per se. So gold is one of the hardest colors to match, because the color changes so drastically depending on the light it's in. So you kind of just have to, you know, play around with it, find something that matches you. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take one of my tools. This tool is called a French curve. There are different kinds. So there's this one, and there's this one. This is, to me, it's the most useful because it's got this long curve. You can do whatever you want with it, and so I'm going to line it up right about here so I get a bit of a curve. Now I know this isn't proportionally correct to Kyuga, but actually that's too big. But I don't care, because you know what? Symmetry mode. I don't care, because oops, I don't want that. I want just that, because I'm only doing this part, and so I want to try to get as much detail as I can, as accurately as I can, but I'd go for more detail. Like if I had to choose between the two, I'd go for the more detail. So I know that so the reference image I'm looking at, the gold band is like down here, and then his mouth is like here. Grr, I'm Kyuga. Grr. But like I said, I'm trying to go for detail over accuracy. So because if I left that out, all Kyuga has is just the big bug eyes in this section of him. So I'm taking some liberties. I'm moving up the gold band just a little bit so that I can add some detail. Alright. So we're just gonna fill it in there. Fill it in there. And I actually didn't think about this, or I didn't think about this before I started. Symmetry mode is really, really helpful in this for this guy because he is symmetrical. I mean, there's no getting around it. He is. You could slap a line down the middle and you wouldn't tell a difference. He's a mirror image of himself. Build, as you can see, is very much not. So, here, you know what? I'm gonna put build on top. So build, very much not symmetrical. So Kyuga, symmetrical. So it's pretty cool, even though the shape itself isn't technically symmetrical. I'm gonna say it is, because why not? That little curved bit doesn't matter. Yeah. Just checking the stream, make sure it's still working well. And it's still working well, so we're all good. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to do the I want to do. Actually, you know what? Give me 1 second. I need to. I'm gonna. There we go. Okay, cool. All right. So, yeah, now I'm gonna work on the crest. So this will be a good time for me to erase all this stuff. It looks good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to merge. I may regret this later, but hopefully not. I'm going to merge all of this. So now, if I took Big Eraser, it can strike through all of it. So they're all one layer now. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to erase. This is my least favorite part of the drawing because it just takes so long. But, you know, so tell me, this was just sort of the thing that I had off the top of my head because I needed to do this anyways, and so I thought it'd be fun just to have people like watch the process. But what I really want to do is, if you follow me on Twitter, you know that I, more than anything, love drawing on whiteboards, or if you know through Karn's server, like earlier on, that's what I do, like sometime last year, or it was early this year, I think. But you know that I love drawing on whiteboards, so as soon as I get paid, the idea was to get a webcam, rig it up over my shoulder, and do whiteboard drawings, like live. That's really the final plan. Ah, that looks really good. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, yeah, that's my final plan. That was the reason for all of this. And I figure we could have like theme nights. So like one night we do Toku, or I pick a random Toku suggestion I like in the comments. Or I do like a straw poll. And then like we'll have like a superhero night where I draw like Marvel or DC heroes, or any other heroes I find visually interesting. We have like a fusion knight. I pick two, or I pick like a character and a verb, and I just doodle them, whatever. Or, you know, Mochi suggested when I was talking with him. It was more of a joke than anything, but a mouse only knight. That sounds really really fun. Um, so if you guys want to see something specific, I mean, definitely let me know, because I would love to see what you guys had to say about this. You know, like what ideas you guys have. So comments, tell me some ideas you got, and I will definitely add it to some sort of repertoire that I have. Alright, okay, so the eyes are all finished, and I gotta say, I dig them kind of a lot. So, the next thing to do would be to steal back that... Actually, you know what? Damn it, I knew there was something I was forgetting. I wanted to... I wanted to do like a border here. So let me real quick. So one technique I like to use. It's under this layer, but since all this is one layer, it's going to be, so make it a little bit darker. Well, yeah, that's a good color. Since it's all on that, it's not going to be able to do that tuck underneath thing I was doing. Applebee's Tuesday? I'm not going to yell it because I live in an apartment, but Applebee's Tuesday. There you go. I don't know what that means, but you got me to say it. You got me to say some strange thing on the internet. I bet you're super proud. Alright, so let me get back our lovely friend, the French curve. Position him just right. And then I'm going to... I don't want it that thick. I want it... Oh, maybe I do. No, I don't. I want it just a little bit thinner. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to do that there, and I'm going to make it overlap there. Now... Oh, crap. Real quick. Symmetry mode. So that I do it on the other side, too. Alright, I'm going to do this. So I'm going to make it overlap just a little bit. What are you saying? Just for old time. I don't even recognize your name, but okay, whatever. Applebee's Tuesday. That's me saying that. I've got somebody in the other room looking at me like I'm a crazy person for saying Applebee's Tuesday. But I don't know. Somebody wanted me to say Applebee's Tuesday. So, you know. Alright. I can close this down for now. Okay. Okay, let's get rid of our French curve. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this eraser, our hard edge eraser, and no problem, man. Oh, crap. Oh, you know what? Shit. I need to do this on a separate layer. God damn it. I keep keep fucking this up.
I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing at this.
Okay. Okay, so I've got it on another layer now. I'm going to get our buddy French curve back. I'm going to do it once more. Just like that. Okay. So now, get rid of French curve, and I'm going to get our hard edge eraser, and I'm going to that line back, get that eyeball back. Alright, so now it looks like it was there the whole time. So now if we check that other side, what? I forgot to do. Oh, okay. This This program is a bit finagly, but we're going to try it again. Okay. So we're going to get our buddy French Curve back yet again. Keep having to call him up. He's real sick of my shit. Okay. Position it right on there. Now turn on symmetry mode, because I keep freaking forgetting. Go back to here. Get it right up there. Okay, turn off French curve. Now go back to this. And get that hard edge back, actually. It's important to note when you're drawing on digital medium, it's important to, whenever you're doing something like this, to remember to lift your pencil. Now, I know that sounds weird, but there's a lot of times where I'm coloring something in and I'm just holding it down. Well, if you hold it down, the computer thinks of it as one stroke. Perfect. Oh, that looks really good. I like that a lot. Okay, the computer thinks of it as one stroke. So let's say you're trying to color in this part here. Yada yada yada. Color it in. Oh no, I went out. Well, I'll just undo it. Well, now all your work is gone. So remember, so when I was doing that there, when I was doing the erasing there, every bit of that was a different stroke. It was so that if I screw something up, I could just undo that last stroke instead of the entire thing and having to do it over again. If you guys are having a good time, let me know. I like to know what's going on with people. Give me 1 second. I'm fucking around with the settings a little bit. Oh, thanks, Mochi. I appreciate you. So we got 3 people watching. I like that. Alright, there we go. Okay. Hey, thanks, Jupe. I'd like to think I am a big man. Nope, I'm not gonna say that. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but no, I'm not saying that. So, okay, so now on to, so now that we did those lines, we're going to merge it in with our face layer. We'll call this face layer. Sorry, bud, but nah, I'm just not doing that. Build. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to add another layer, and we're going to actually put it... Oh. Okay, so the problem I find here... I'm going to have to do this in 2 different layers, because with build, I have him here, and these things that stick out, they go underneath that big black line right there. and that's no problem. I mean, that's nothing. It looks fine that it does that. Kyuga's crest, however, unfortunately will not be able to go underneath this part here, because that won't look as good. It's got to go on top. So I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to do this in 2 different layers. So like it's something like that, and like that. Well, it's more like this, and then bam, bam, like that. So crest is something like that. Oh, let me get off this layer. Okay, the crest, something like that, 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 that. So the crest is something like that. Actually, next time let me turn symmetry mode on. So it's something like that, 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 nope, that, that, yeah, like that. So, oh, sorry, puppy. I'll use that as like my base. I'll clean it up later. But what I'm gonna have to do is move it up above this layer. And so the build one was able to fit nicely in one little layer, but this one is gonna have to be in 2 layers. So not ideal, but you know, it's how it works. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna have to make sure that symmetry mode is on at all times. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, actually, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to turn symmetry mode on. Symmetry mode on. What? No. Like this. Okay. Okay, so I can't symmetry this part. But and then I move here. Okay, that's a good spot. You know what? You know what? I don't have to have this. I don't have to have that. Delete. Because I just need to make sure this one looks correct. So that, because I'm not going to use this as my final. I'm going to use this as like a stencil. So what I'm going to do, once I have it good, I'm going to make it transparent, and then add another layer. So I'm drawing, oop, that's not what I wanted. So I'm drawing on top of it, right? So I use it as like a stencil for what I want, and I can fix it however I want, right? So it follows his eyes. I don't think I want it to go into this part here. I think I want it to go just above. So we will make it just go just above. Okay, so symmetry mode, it's my best friend this time. Okay, so we're going to turn it on. We're not going to worry about that bottom part because I hate trying to connect things in symmetry mode. We are going to oh, oh, never mind. Okay, so we're going to get our friend the oval back. We're going to try to match it up roughly the same as the eye, so that's probably good right there. Maybe move it up a little. Okay, so then we're going to take it. We want that same curve roughly, so we're going to make it just a little bit bigger and then move it so that it connects those 2 points that we already laid out, right here, right the top here and the side here. Okay, so we're going to right around like that. Okay. Now, okay, that looks pretty good. So then it's a much sharper curve than that. It's more out like that. So symmetry mode, same curvy wurvy. Shrink it down. I'm going to say up like that. So if we like that, no, that's too much. Okay. Okay, so if we something like that. Just trying to get that spike. Is that good? That's good. I love that. Okay. Yeah, so it's important to know not to doubt yourself. It is a little short, but when we turn this back on, it'll be fine. We're not looking for we're not looking for accuracy, we're more looking for detail. So it is a little stout, but it'll be fine. Alright, so I think that looks pretty good. I probably want to do that out just a little more, so we're going to get our lovely friend out again. Oop, nope, that's not what I wanted. More like that. Oh, shit. Symmetry mode. That's going to be a problem. Okay. Okay. So that's pretty good. Let me just double check. Hide that one. That's pretty good. I like it. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing, but for the other side. We want it. We want this to be a lot. We want this part right here to be. This part right here to be thick. So probably want it more at an angle like that to match that right there. Maybe we want it longer. That's what we want. Okay, so we want it to go to about here. Okay. Ooh. No! Symmetry mode! Damn it. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'll have to trim this spot right here, but I think it's pretty good. Okay. So again, zoom out. You made a video of me? Alright, that's a little odd, especially because I don't know who you are. You hearing me? But, yeah, yeah, give me a second. Hmm? I'm not finding it, man. Oh, here we go. I don't even recognize your name, but okay, whatever. Applebee's Tuesday.
We did it! We did it! We did it!
Hey man, the least you could do is link my channel in it. You know? You wanna come see it? I don't even recognize your name, but okay, whatever. Applebee's Tuesday.
We did it! We did it! We did it!
Yeah, man, put my channel in the description. I'd appreciate that. If you could. You know? You know? For real? Anyways, back to what I was doing. Alright, Kuga. Alright, so then the last thing, that middle bit is a bit higher than... No, I don't mind if you leave it up, just credit me or something, you know? So I can get some potential views out of it. So, okay. Alright, so it's more of a vertical right here. Okay. So if we do it like that, I remembered whatever this time. All right. That's not bad. Ugh. I don't like this part. This part needs to be higher. Okay, so okay, so there's not really any easy way to do this because I can't do this symmetrically. So I'm just going to move it to the best of my ability. Do. You know what? Damn it. Symmetry mode! If I ever make shirts, that's going to be the first one. I didn't line it up right. Right there. There we go. Okay. So then I want another one. I want to move. No. Okay. Okay. Another layer. We're going to do this right this time, I promise. Here. Okay. Symmetry mode. Let me turn it down just a little bit. All right. Okay. 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 So then I want this back. I want this back. I want it like that. Alright, okay. So that's good. Now I want to switch back to this layer, get rid of that. Can't erase it yet. Okay. So then take this, loop it about there. Okay, and then move it, matched up with that. There we go. And that looks pretty good. So now what I do is sorry about that. Dog's barking. All that jazz. I want symmetry mode. Want it on this layer. There we go. So now when this one turns up, that's connected. Okay, merge that, and then just like that. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright, we got Kyuga's crest. Now put that back on. That looks pretty good. Not gonna lie. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to turn symmetry mode back on, flip to this, and just like that. Okay, so now I got my baseline. I'm going to turn symmetry mode off, flip around, and do it. Actually, no, I probably should have done this before. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, let's turn that back on. That's pretty good. I like it a lot. I'm liking it. Alright, and then we'll do just a tiny one for here. You know, I could just there we go. Not bad, not bad, not bad. I like it a lot. Okay. Okay, cool. So now what I want to put on the little dot right there. So for this, I'm going to Again, use our tool, the circle stencil. I'm going to make it so that its ellipse is at 90, so it's a perfect circle. I'm going to get it real tiny and put it right on the center. Okay, that's probably about the bright spot, and so then I'm going to, it looks like I could get away with just using this color. Oh, you know what? It's got a bit of gold on the outside, so what I'll do is I'll do a little bit right there, and then add a layer underneath for this color, and then there you go. Bam, that's how you make a circle outline. Alright, and so then what I can do, I can put a layer in between there for this color. Fill in that little donut. Bam! How does that look? And then what you do, you fill those. Fill those. So now that's all in one layer. Awesome! Okay. Okay. So I can delete this layer now. Going to add another layer underneath here. I'm going to take this, steal this color, make it a bit lighter. Yeah, that's a cool color. Okay, and then just fill in. Going to turn on symmetry mode. You know what? Boom, bang, pow, Rice Krispies. Okay. So now what I want to do, turn symmetry mode back on, get our tiny eraser. That is why you do the outline first, and that is why you do it on separate layers. It just makes it so much easier, so much faster. Symmetry mode back on. Again, I feel like I'm giving tips. This was not supposed to be a teach you how to art stream. Just me doodling and talking about it. So feel free to not take any of this advice at all, because I don't really know what I'm doing. So, you know. Symmetry mode. Oop. And I like this program a lot for a lot of different reasons, but one of the things I think is really cool is when you're in Eraser, it shows you what it's going to erase first. So like it's not going to erase any of that. If it gives like X-ray specs, so it won't erase any of that. But if I were to do it there, it would get into the middle part. So like if I were erasing this, yada yada, I could say, oh, it's not going to erase into that, which it's not. But if it's, I'm going to see, oh, I've got my black line right there, so I don't want to erase there. I want to go it a little bit less. You know? Pretty cool. This is just a very simple program. This is Autodesk Sketchbook. Like I said, a very, very simple program. If this is something you really want to get into, probably don't want to do this. I just do this because I'm very familiar with it. There's also an iPad, like a mobile version that I use. I sometimes do doodles on my phone, so I use the same exact program. Yeah. So then one thing I want to do, just for shits and giggles, we're going to get our ruler. First of all, we're going to make it straight. We're going to place along here. Do it a little bit off center, and I'll show you why in just a second. Okay, so we're going to take this color, we're going to make it lighter by just a smidge, so it's a little bit darker, and what we're going to do, I'm going to make it real tiny. We're going to actually, you know what? Add another layer on top of this one. Okay. Just across like that. Okay. So now I'm going to erase down here. Erase up here. But now I've got this dark line. What am I going to do with this dark line, you may ask? Well, I'm going to color in on this side. It's a simple way to denote like that it's at a different angle. So like his crest isn't perfectly flat, and there's no light source that makes it perfectly flat. So we're going to do that just to add a little bit of depth to it. So just like the detail in the eyes, the loops to make them compound, we're going to do whatever to make them a little bit, you know, a little more personality, a little more whatever. And the reason we offset it just a little bit was because it's a thick line, so we don't want a line going down the middle, we want the edge of it going down the middle. And if you can see right in this spot right here, it looks like we did just that. Just making details with a slightly different color, just a slightly lighter or darker color than what you're using, just makes like a world of difference. So before it looked alright, but now it looks like there's some depth to it. Oh, and I like that a lot. And to add on to that, it keeps that middle line so that you can still tell that there's a line down the middle of that. So it's still, like, that line continues, so it still makes the R and the K. Yeah, I think that is all done. Whew. I think that's all done. I think it looks pretty good. Oh, one thing I gotta do. Gotta make it translucent in the background. You know what? I think I have to... Bob Ross wishes he was me. That's not true. Bob Ross is a lovely human, I'm sure. This is if Bob Ross watched Tokusatsu. So what I'm gonna do actually, because I don't want this part to be I don't want this part to be translucent. So what I'll do, I'll get a white and I will just put a layer underneath. And I will. So whenever I'm drawing with white or like a really light color or like a airbrush or whatever, I like to make the background like not white, something crazy, so like a pink or a magenta so that I can see where I'm drawing with the white. Or I like to make the background like a magenta so I can see where I'm drawing with the white. And for in times like this where I don't have the luxury of going over, I could erase it. You know what? I'm just going to erase it. So we're going to make this really big. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Okay. Then right here. I'm actually gonna hide the crest. And that's the beauty of layers. You can do that. You can draw underneath other things. I do not know how I drew without layers. Like, I honestly don't know how I lasted this long without drawing without layers. Or without drawing with layers. Anyways, so now switch back to the eraser and just... You know what? Symmetry mode. Actually, you know what? I don't know if that's... Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Whoops. I think I undid a little bit too much. Yeah, I'll have to refill in that because I've already started this part. So I'm going to probably stream about once a week. That's my goal. And so tell me what day of the week is good for you guys. I'm kind of partial to... I might get free on Tuesdays or Thursdays pretty soon. So right now I'm not free on those days, like very much not free. But I will be getting free on those days fairly soon, I believe. So and so then I can do it a lot earlier, maybe get some more people in. So yeah, if I do that, I'll be able to get stream a lot earlier. So I will be looking to do that. Alright, perfect. So now we put the crest back on, and then, ooh, that's a cool color. Then do that, bam, it's white. Alright, so I believe that's done. Let me save it real quick. So let me name the layers. Common reviews. Kuga crest. Logo. So you know what? I've changed my mind. I'm going to fill that all in. And then just put this white circle underneath the faces and just take the faces off. I don't know why I didn't do that before. under that, so then that will go on top of that. That will go on top of that. I think that looks pretty damn good. And you can still tell it says KR. I'm really happy with that. Alright, so the Huga eyes background. Okay, so okay, I have to, so for my buddy Josh, who this is for, I have to save this as this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this several different times. I'm going to, so this is, first of all, I'm going to hide that, Control S. Okay, so this is, you can't see this, but in the top, this file is blank full logo .tif. Could not tell you for the life of me what TIF stands for, but what it basically means is that it holds on to all the different layers I have so that I can blank out stuff that I do or do not want. That actually looks pretty cool. So that's the files that this program uses. But then what I'm going to do, I'm going to also save them, save a copy as a JPEG. I'm going to, what I'm going to do, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save this 6 different times. And the reason for that is because I'm going to do it, right now there are 6 different forms of this. There is a blank form, there's a Huga form, there's a build form, and then there's, each one of those has a form with and without the words. So I'm going to save that. Okay. Okay, file, save copy as JPEG. Oh wait, no. Then I'm going to hide that. File, save copy as JPEG. Save this. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to turn that on and turn it to build. File, save copy as JPEG. Yes. Okay. And then turn off the words. I know this is kind of tedious, but this is how it's gotta be. Okay, so now the Huga. Okay, file, save copy as. Huga icon.jpg. Okay, and then the words. Save copy as. Huga full logo.jpg. Alright, and I think that's going to be it for today. Let me just really quick, let me double check that these have, I've done this correctly, because last time I forgot to save it with a transparent background. So let me just pull one of them up. Okay, so I can't say. I'm gonna have to figure this out off stream. Okay, well, thank you guys for joining me. I will. They haven't saved with transparent backgrounds, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But thank you for joining me. I'm going to be doing this a lot more often. I know this one was, I mean, hour and a half, not short per se, but you know. So, but yeah, so I will do this more often. I enjoy doing this. If there's suggestions you guys have, my Twitter handle is in, or my link to my Twitter is in the description down below. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, yeah. Follow me on Twitter. Send me suggestions you have for tweets, how I can improve, because I really enjoy doing this. Yeah, I appreciate you all, and thanks so much. Have a good night.